Drop the open. Let me know if you guys are getting us loud and clear out there in the world. Drop in the opening right now.
To the Hank Strange
Make
situation.
sure you subscribe here to the channel. Thumbs up, ring the bell so you can be notified. All right, we are live, gentlemen. Come on, let's do those jazz hands. Let's get those jazz hands up there. All right. I hope you got your big girl bulletproof, soundproof panties on tonight, because we are live and we are bringing it tonight. This is episode 441 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. We're calling it Mormon's New Policy. Is it wise or is it wacky? I don't know if you guys know about this new no guns in the Mormon church policy. What? Yes.
What?
Yeah, this is a thing. I'm not making this up.
Ultimate survivalist.
I don't know what's going on. If we've got some Mormons, I don't know if anyone on the panel happens to be a Mormon, but we got if there's anyone out there, let us know what you think about it. So I'm sure Mormon gun guys are pretty mad right now about this policy.
It's such a weird thing for them to implement.
They're like me and carry anyway and don't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's what I would
Exactly.
do. That's what I would do, people, because they just put a big gun-free zone. They just put a big sign out there for anyone who wants to do bad things. So we've got David Sailors of Liberty Suppressors. He's joining us. There goes David. We've also got Sam Paredes of GOA California here, the infamous. The last time he was on, YouTube came down on us like a ton of bricks. We can't talk to Sam, apparently. Yeah. He's a
They don't
terror.
like Mexicans with guns, I guess. Huh?
I'm saying, man. Yeah, what's going on? You know what? I should have thought of that as a challenge when we were complaining to YouTube. Next time I gotta make a note. Like, are you saying that we can't have Mexicans on here talking about the Second Amendment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. They're people too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you can find that episode though. It's over on GunStreamer. We've also got it on audio and stuff like that, but we did remove it from the channel here. So make sure you check out all our GunStreamer stuff. Dave was just saying, you were just saying when we were coming in, Dave, that you guys have had some issues over at Liberty with YouTube, right?
Yeah, they see from the beginning we've never monetized our videos. In the very beginning, YouTube would pick and choose who they monetized, and the videos specifically. And then we decided once they started doing that we would turn off monetization because we didn't want people to think we were putting up the content to try and earn money from it. We was wanting to put the information out there as information. So we've never monetized our YouTube.
And you have good information if people want to know how to maintain their suppressors and do all that stuff.
When I first got into suppressors, that was the channel I went to. No lie.
No, that's what I tell people to go to if they want to find out about the cans. That's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, well, here within the last month and a half, we've been seeing people sending us emails talking about how there's dead links on our webpage. And of course, I'm immediately on the back end of the website looking at it. And I go to the link, and sure enough, the video's no longer there. It's completely gone. Yeah. Fortunately, Hank turned me on to GunStreamer not long ago, and I migrated every Liberty video to GunStreamer because of the impending issues.
I was afraid this was going to happen to you. Actually, we have someone from GunStreamer in the chat right now. Shout out to GunStreamer, which I know you have a question, so keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. So, sure enough, the link was dead. I went and found an earlier video that we had done of that same suppressor, and I put it up. But then I noticed YouTube actually went in, and as he said, they edited my video and blacked out every time I would fire the gun.
That's insanity.
Yeah, they just fade it to black while I'm shooting.
This is like book burning, Sam. It's like book burning, and then you go through the book, and you're like, redacted.
Tear out that page.
And Babyface confirmed this.
First Amendment.
I just went and looked, and it fades out when you shoot, fades back in, and then fades back out when you pull the trigger.
I thought that you just had a glitch on what you were looking at.
That's the weirdest thing.
That is crazy. So without your permission, they go in and edit your video.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Wow.
So
that's
I
really
took
crazy.
and put a link to the GunStreamer video on the website. So now if you watch it on GunStreamer.
Okay. All right, cool. Shout out to Antonia Okafor as well. I see her out there. Also, when she came on the podcast, Antonia Okafor, they also immediately demonetized it. So
no lie that there's somebody watching the channel.
You're in good company, Sam. You're in good company.
That makes me proud.
Yes.
How do I see the chat, Hank?
How do you see the chat? You have to open up a window on something else on YouTube, on Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, the YouTube channel. Make sure you mute it.
Hold on. Try before you do that. Try that link I just put in.
Okay, Babyface just sent you a link. Yeah. So I think there was a question here that you wanted to ask the GunStreamer people, Dave, about what is embed codes?
Yeah. If I want to embed a window on my website that plays from GunStreamer, like you can YouTube, that the web building apps typically just have a YouTube, what do you call it, drag and drop piece of code.
Embed code.
And I was hoping that GunStreamer is working on that if they haven't already got it made, to where you can do the same thing.
Yeah. So if the folks from GunStreamer are watching, you guys have any idea about that, let us know. This is the reason why I keep telling everyone to get up on GunStreamer, because this stuff is going to happen more and more to people. I don't know if you guys in GOA, California, Sam, if you guys are on GunStreamer or not.
We are not, but we do watch all kinds of interesting stuff there. But we are not.
Oh, okay. All right.
We actually spend more time coming on good shows to talk about what's going on.
Okay.
There's just so much going on that in order for us to produce a show that is anywhere near the quality that you guys have, it just takes too much time. We got too many other things on our plate right now that are hot.
Oh, have you ever seen this show? I mean, maybe the other shows.
Yes, I have.
Maybe the other shows you go on are good. I don't know.
Dave, GunStreamer says, yes, we have an embed link. If you go to any video and click embed below the title, that's how you can embed it on the website.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Dave probably missed it because they didn't put it with an accent. Yeah. So, absolutely. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead. See what I was telling you?
I was gonna say, did you say that he speaks with an accent? I didn't notice it.
Oh, you did?
Dave?
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't have the accent.
Listen, when it's Southern, it's called a drawl.
A
it's
drawl.
Not an accent.
Oh, excuse me. Okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
And we talk TV talk.
Yeah, I love your accent, by the way, Dave. It's awesome.
That whole Midwestern thing y'all talk with, I don't know.
Midwestern? Wait a second.
You watch too much TV as a kid and learn that Midwestern accent.
Oh. Okay.
That's why they call it TV talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what
who here calls, if anybody, calls soda pop? Does anybody say that?
No.
Nobody?
No.
Okay, you guys aren't northerner. I'm gonna start a fight if I say it's soda instead of pop. For anybody, for you guys that don't know, in like Ohio and North, it's called pop, and if you say soda, they like freak out. So I guarantee somebody in the chat's gonna say something.
Why? Soda is a different thing up there.
Yeah, it's called pop up there.
Oh. Yeah, in the South, any canned soda drink that has sugar in it is a Coke.
Yeah, it's Coke. It's all Coke.
Oh, really?
Doesn't matter if you're holding Pepsi, it's a Coke.
It's Coke.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I never heard that.
That's fairly interesting.
It can be any carbonated beverage in the store.
And what is the reason, pray tell, for that?
I think because Coca-Cola was invented in either Chattanooga or Atlanta, and it comes from there somehow. They were the first.
Oh, okay. So you're saying you guys in the South had the Coke first, huh?
Oh yeah, it was invented here.
Oh, okay. And the drink and the other stuff, because I think the original soda had some of the other Coke in it, right?
That's
correct.
Yeah, had just a little bit. So they don't put that in anymore. What did they substitute for that? Now,
sugar.
Lots of sugar and caffeine.
Oh.
Yes. Lots of it.
Okay, same thing.
An unhealthy amount.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. So I know the GunStreamer. I see Walter's out there as well. Shout out to Walter. Shout out to Antonia. We have to get her on, man. She actually wants to come on panels like this. So maybe we'll try to work something
Columbus,
out.
Georgia. MW Tactical says Coca-Cola was invented in Columbus, Georgia.
There you go.
Oh,
that's why.
Okay, so
everything's Coke.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah. So okay, let's see.
This chat is lit.
Yeah, these guys are going
it goes
for
by
it.
fast.
Yeah. So everyone in the chat, please make sure you smash the thumbs up. So we appreciate that. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, this is brought to you by Franklin Armory, the show tonight. Thanks to the Franklin Armory folks out there, one of the people that sponsors the show. Do you guys want to get into? I just put up the article about this new Mormon policy here. Let me see. I'll throw it up on the screen so the folks can see this if they haven't seen it. This one's from The Truth About Guns, but it's all over the news today. Mormons' new policy officially prohibits carrying firearms in all churches, declaring that their churches should be places of peace and havens from the outside world. Leaders of the Mormon Church have officially prohibited worshipers from carrying firearms in any of their houses of worship. Carrying guns had only been discouraged in the past. The new policy makes an exception for law enforcement officers.
Of course.
Oh yeah, because they're special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is, I don't know why they're doing this. Perhaps LDS leaders would have benefited from talking to Rabbi Yisroeli Goldstein of Chabad of Poway. While we're sure Rabbi considered his sanctuary a place of peace, too, he was realistic enough about the realities of the outside world to know that such prohibitions do not stop evil individuals who mean to do his congregation harm, and it goes on. What do you guys, who wants to jump in here? Sam, I'm sure you have an opinion on this one.
Come on, Callie.
Opinion, absolutely, I have an opinion. Good heavens. As we mentioned in the last show, gun-free zones are nothing but a spotlight saying, hey, we are a target-rich environment here for any crazy to come and do whatever they want to do without facing any opposition for a long period of time. You can cause the most amount of damage here. This is the message that we send out to people that are willing to commit an atrocity, but by saying, hey, this is a gun-free zone, come here. When in fact, they're trying to achieve peace, and they're achieving exactly the opposite. And the sad thing is, the first time that somebody goes in and shoots in a church like this is going to be a really sad day. And the people who, the people who pass this measure are going to be thinking to themselves, oh man, did we go the wrong way? Well, we're telling you ahead of time. Yeah, you went the wrong way. Yeah, absolutely, you went the wrong way.
Yeah, this is not a good policy. Are you guys surprised? Because I'm kind of I thought lots of people in LDS were pro Second Amendment, pro gun guys. I was under that. I had that opinion for some reason. I don't know. Is that wrong?
I always saw Mormons as semi-conservative, but I really don't know very many Mormons to be honest. Now I say that, I don't think I know any Mormons to be honest. Okay. So I'm not sure.
I know quite a few. I'm friends with several of them,
mm-hmm.
but this is a sign of the times, in my opinion. It's part of this whole, like NASCAR is not wanting to run AR-15 ads. That's what this is, because the Mormons.
It's your target market. It's perfect to run ARs.
That was the dumbest thing I ever heard. The Mormons were persecuted from day one. They were run out of Ohio or Illinois and driven west, and they were run out of that state and driven west. They finally crossed over the mountains and found Salt Lake City, and it was an empty desert at the time, but that's where they decided to live by themselves because they were persecuted. And I'm sure they didn't want to get shot. And I guarantee you they were heavily armed.
Yeah. When I was...
Go ahead.
When I was traveling around the country last year, I know when I was in Colorado and Utah, I came across lots of LDS people that were pro-gun, and I'm kind of surprised. Harry's Holster says, Babyface P, the few that are local are completely pro-2A. I probably sell more holsters in Utah per capita than any other state.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I would never thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, this seems like a top-down, where the people at the top have no idea what the rest of the church wants and has just made a decision.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It's weird. Are they? Do you think they're trying to be more
definitely
politically correct or something, Sam?
Yeah, I think that's the rationale behind this. First of all, everybody needs to understand that our conversation here is not an anti-Mormon conversation.
No, yeah.
Mormon people are awesome. They're law-abiding. They're salt of the earth. There's so much good that comes from the people who are Mormons and believe in that faith. So this is not an anti-Mormon conversation. This is a conversation about leadership who has made an unwise decision that is going to potentially lethally impact their parishioners. And that's where the sadness comes in. Over and over, we've seen these mass shootings that we've had recently, but what hasn't been reported is the multiple times that good guys with guns in defensive gun uses stopped potential mass killings. But because there weren't a whole lot of people killed, because it was prevented by a guy with a gun, a good guy with a gun, it doesn't make the news. But it's happening over and over and over again. And when the government or organizations, the Mormon Church, the leadership, the council, the Council of Elders, they have the right to do whatever they want with their church, for sure. But if it's an unwise thing, they should be aware that they're going to receive criticism and maybe even potentially blame if something horrible happens in one of their wholly unprotected churches. And that's a shame.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly believe in freedom of religion, and I do not. At the same time, I also don't think it's a very good idea to advertise that your places of worship are wide open to this kind of stuff. If it's a mosque, whatever it is, if it's a church, temple, whatever it is, please don't advertise to people that you're a gun-free zone, so that if they decide we don't like these guys, we're going to go do something horrible over there.
So real quick, I have something I can throw in here, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like Utah is the same as Florida in the sense that a no firearm sign on the side of a building or in the front door doesn't carry weight of law. So you can't be arrested for carrying your firearm in a no firearms building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to tell you to break the law, but I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
So concealed, in my opinion, concealed is concealed. So
Yeah.
as long as there aren't any metal detectors, concealed is concealed.
Yeah. I think, unfortunately, we're going to see a lot more of this kind of thing, Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, for sure. California is actually the same way also, where if there's a restaurant or building that no guns allowed, you're not breaking the law if you go in there. If they find out that you have a gun, they can ask you to leave, and if you don't leave, you can be charged with trespassing.
Yep.
And that's it. It's not a violation of the law, but the responsibility is on our shoulders. No one should ever know that we're carrying concealed under any circumstances unless we are using a firearm to defend ourselves or those people that are around us. At that point, it doesn't matter if they know or not. But if somebody's printing, if they're being unwise with the way they're carrying their guns, they need a little more training and to be a little more careful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering why they would do this. I think maybe there was one incident or something that happened. But, I'm just really wondering why all of a sudden they would make a change like this or come out and make a specific policy like this, what they're really trying to signal to people out there. But, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm trying to look through the news and see if there was a specific incident that happened. I don't know if you guys heard of anything or remember anything like that happening. I'm trying to look through and see, but yeah, hopefully the folks out there that have the ability to do that don't listen. Although I know that when it comes to places of worship, people do take the advice of their spiritual leaders very seriously. So,
sure,
yeah, that's.
And I do the same thing. I take the advice of the Bible, where it says that if a man comes under your tent at night, you are justified in killing him. By protecting yourself and your family and your home, But if a man comes under your tent at night, you need to be justified in the wise use of force if you are to kill him. There needs to be some justification, and that's all we want. We want. We're not out there killing people just to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not. If there's justification, we want to have the ability to do that, and that's what we fight for. And she was kind of scattered all over the Bible. So
yeah, absolutely.
If anybody wants to argue, they can argue with the Bible.
I'm sure there'll be someone out there that'll be happy to do it. Yeah, I'm sure there will be someone happy to do it. Okay, was that you that shared this link, Patrick?
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah. This is the first post right now on Truth About Guns. Wayne LaPierre abandons Illinois. So it looks like they have... with a phone call, I learned that the NRA had severed its relationship with the legal dream team representing Guns Save Lives and over 2 million Prairie State gun owners in 3 critical lawsuits here in the land of Lincoln. And now they have to pick up the pieces. So it looks like the NRA has abandoned Guns Save Lives, whatever that group is. I'm not sure what they're currently fighting against, but it looks like they're no longer backed by the NRA ILA. So
what's going on there?
Oh, yeah, who knows? It's the NRA, their typical shenanigans, it feels like.
Yeah. Or are they just cutting back, or just don't have the resources?
They need to pay for some more suits and rental cars for LaPierre.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Dave? You haven't been on in a while since this whole thing has just gotten. Yeah. Do you have an opinion on this one, Dave?
Let's see. Can I find the sharp stick to stick in my eye?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, you guys? It is. We chuckle and stuff, but I have to be honest with you. Here in California, the National Rifle Association has been doing amazing work, and they've spent millions of dollars to help us to file lawsuits to challenge all of California's laws, and the relationship that we have has been outstanding. And what's happening back in Virginia, that's out of my control, and I'm not willing to opine on that issue. But what I will tell you is that we have to give them credit when credit is due, and what they're doing here in California has been really amazing work. So
I think if you have
that's the other side of the coin.
I feel like if you have good local guys, it's probably really good. In Virginia, you always obviously have the bad ones, and then here in Florida, we have the crazy cat lady. So we're kind of jaded because of that.
Yeah. Well, listen, definitely the people on the ground, the people working this thing on the ground, like Sam is saying, those are the good guys here. The problem is with the leadership, right? There's a few people in the leadership that's kind of overall making the whole thing look bad. I don't want to see it get burnt down to the ground. Yeah.
Bad leadership.
Yeah.
It's like it's one person in the leadership.
Oh, yeah. It's only like one person that's just we just don't like.
Well, one person and a couple of people that are protecting him. The way that it's kind of structured right now, the folks like us that have been supporting NRA for a long time, we really don't have any say anymore. That's the sad, unfortunate part of it. If you go back on my channel, these are the first kind of videos that I made, when I started doing this to support the NRA, and it feels kind of weird now that we're going through all of this at the very moment in history when we really, really need everyone on board fighting against, all the things that we have coming, like red flag laws and, expanded background checks, whatever that means, Yeah.
What that means is try and find a way to not let you have a gun.
Yeah.
That's what expanded background check is.
Yeah, more barriers in the way. So, yeah. I think, go ahead, Sam.
You guys are absolutely right, and it's not trite to say that. That the other side, those who want to bring aspersions on NRA or any organization out there, or any of us who are trying to spread. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'll show it off. Just keep going.
I'm sorry, I'm easily distracted.
Yeah, distracted. It's like, ooh, knife. Yeah.
Golly, that was so pretty.
And now I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Train of thought.
Yeah.
This was just handed to me. friend of mine, his mom was digging through all the old stuff in the attic or in the garage or something, and found this. His grandfather was a Seabee in World War II, and the Seabees.
That's a great hilt.
Yeah, they turned their World War II knives into like trench art sort of stuff with, from what I'm reading online, downed plane parts. So windshields with like plexiglass. The aluminum is from the hilt is aluminum, so it's from like the plane, the downed planes. So yeah, he brought it. He wanted to clean it up a little bit. It's a little rusty, a little dirty.
Oh, that's cool, man.
But yeah, he brought it the other night, and I was like, man, that's such a neat. And most of the Seabees, he said, made them themselves. And then because they weren't frontline soldiers, they would trade them off for war trophies, Lugers, or whatever they could get their hands on. So yeah, they would turn these things. They would make the hilts, turn them down to a nice profile, and then trade them off for whatever they could get. So this is his grandfather's, and we're gonna end up cleaning it up and kind of polish up the case a little bit so it doesn't dry out.
The case looks great, man. It's got good patina.
It's still, yeah. Luckily, she didn't keep it in the attic. She just had it in the back room, so it didn't dry out and crack and fade. It just needs a little TLC, and it's going to be really cool again.
Yeah. Okay. And thank you very much for distracting us all.
I know. I'm sorry. Just handed it to me.
If knives could talk, we were talking about the other side. They truly are out there to try to ban the private possession of all firearms. On media, when they're being interviewed, they talk about all these reasonable and rational, sensible gun control measures for gun safety. When you and I and everybody who looks at what they're talking about know that they're full of sheep dip, and ultimately what they want to do is to take away guns. When the lights go out, man, they're not afraid to tell you to your face, we're going to work until we take away every private gun out of the hands of every individual in America, and as a matter of fact, a lot of them don't even believe the police should be armed. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter when you tell them, hey, listen, criminals will always have guns. Ban them all. Send a special bomb that's going to destroy all guns out there in the public. Criminals will always still be able to get them and use them to commit their crimes. So the only people you're hurting are those of us who obey the law, at which point, if they are successful, many of us will become lawbreakers, and that would be a shame.
Mm-hmm. Well, that also gives them an opportunity to get rid of a lot of us, if not most. Right? It's a win-win situation for those guys.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to go
without saying.
Yeah. What was that? What was that, Dave?
I don't think it'll go that way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the little memes? And it shows the 10 leftists gathered together with their lattes and their scarves and their air of superiority, and then it shows 10 country boys with their rifles and it's like, who do you think's going to win this?
It's called Kentucky Windage for a reason.
Right. 350 million guns and almost unlimited ammo on one side of this fight.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this is going to go?
Yeah. Well, see, that theory is all good, Dave, until you start eating plant meats that's supposedly
Oh God, we're back on this.
It's supposed to be meat, but it's not meat, until they convince you to. Yeah, that's how they disarm you. It's not through the guns that they disarm you. It's through what you eat. They say you are what you eat.
Supplements in your food that makes you not want to handle firearms.
Yeah, they say you are what you eat, man. I want to eat tigers and lions.
I got a problem
grizzly
with
bears.
this theory. Sam looks like he's been living behind enemy lines a long time, but he still likes guns. So how do you explain that?
No, I know it's true. Yes, it's true. They are going to have a tough time if they go that way. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
What was that?
I don't know. For any of the algorithm bot that's going through, I have no idea what that was. Yeah. Listen, if they go that.
Switchblades.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, I got...
Oh. Now everyone's pulling out a knife. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Microtech.
I love them.
I'm going to have to take mine out now, too.
Yeah, there it is.
Show mine.
Mine's one of those evil Benchmade knives.
Oh, you do? You have one?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
This way before Benchmade's mistake.
Yeah. everyone, let me tell you, there's a lot of people out there that have Benchmades. As long as as long as you got it before the whole Benchmade debacle, I guess it's all good. I don't know. So, I know someone actually gifted me a Benchmade. Now you can't look a gift knife in the mouth or something like that. There's some
drop point.
Yeah. There's some saying about it. There's some saying. Are you pulling out a knife now too, Sam? Oh,
you know what? They don't have to be big to be very cool.
Oh, hold on.
This is a mammoth molar tusk grip with an Arnold Bernard ground blade from South Africa. That is just awesome.
Yeah.
You know what?
That is
insane.
If you
know how to use it.
Yeah.
If you know how to use it, that's all you need.
Yeah. That looks nice. Okay. All right. Respect. Cool. Now the knife wars are on. Oh boy.
Thank goodness Walter's not on tonight.
Yeah.
This is a legitimate zombie tool.
Jeez, what is that, man?
It's the Deuce by Zombie Tools up in Missoula, Montana. They make them out of 5160 spring
Wow.
steel.
Okay, Dave. Okay. Everybody sit down now. If you thought you were coming up with a bigger knife than that, please, someone, if anyone has it, let us know here. I'll tell you. I'm looking around. I don't see a bigger one. I don't see a bigger one. I could get a kukri, but
Dave wins.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't make any sense. At this point, it doesn't make any sense to take it out. What was that knife again, Dave? That sword?
It's the Deuce. It's called the Deuce. It's a two-handed sword by a company called Zombie Tools.
Zombie
They're up
Tools.
in Missoula, Montana.
Okay. Was that like in The Walking Dead or something?
They made blades for The Walking Dead, but I don't think that particular one was.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool, man. Yeah.
They're all a bunch of guys.
Yeah. That's really cool. Something's distracting me, Sam.
What's that?
What kind of pickles do you have behind you? Are those the sweet pickles? Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got... Yeah, there's like a massive jar of pickles over there.
Pickles are delicious.
Classic kosher dills.
Kosher
snack in the daytime.
Okay.
They're the big ones.
Yeah.
They are... they make me happy during the day.
Yeah, that's 0 calories if I'm not mistaken, right? Pickles?
You're absolutely right.
0 calories.
No carbs and no calories.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fun.
Yeah. I like the sweet pickles, but I think that has some kind of calories in it, according to Lola.
There's sugar in them.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, if it has sweet something in it, it has calories.
Yeah,
so,
pretty much.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, that was a nice knife. Let's see what's going on here. Do you guys have any other news things you want to jump into here? Anyone want to? I'm trying to see
if there's anything going on.
There's some other news stuff you wanted to cover. What's up?
Did anybody see the headline from last weekend about Chicago? What was it? 45 shootings in Chicago on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
The people that want to defend themselves can't defend themselves.
Right. You know, and where's the public outcry?
Yeah.
You know?
Wasn't the mayor of Chicago or someone trying to do an app there, and then they got mad about the app? He wanted to do an app to identify people that were involved in shootings and stuff like that, and everyone's like, "Oh, no.
Don't snitch."
Yeah, we don't want any apps out there. Yet these are the people who want to do red flags and all kinds of other nonsense to us, but they don't want to do anything to... I'm not saying I agree with the app, but it's very interesting. I think the way for them to solve their problem over there is let the law-abiding people more easily defend themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Let the good guys be able to defend themselves in their own homes, in their travels, in their works, in their work environment, and this will dissipate quickly. The criminals there know that they have a bunch of sheep that are in front of them, and they can do whatever they want to those sheep because there are so very few shepherds. And as you well know, it's been reported in multiple places. There are some places in Chicago where the police just won't go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so dangerous that they won't even go there.
Better.
Yeah.
And that's a shame.
Yeah, I don't think more police is the solution. That's what we often get. I think cops need to be better vetted, better trained, better paid, and they probably need less instead of more. But then the way that you compensate for that, which this is going to be a totally crazy idea, let the people have guns.
What?
The criminals already have them, like we were saying, right? You can't stop the bad guys from having them. Let the good guys have them.
Yeah.
Balance the scales?
Yeah. It's too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Radical thought.
There was a story out of Southern California that some criminal used a ghost gun, a 80% lower that they built into a complete firearm, and they used it. And I commented to the reporter, as long as there is raw metal, any kind of plastic, and wire out there, somebody is going to be able to manufacture a gun, and the criminals will figure out how to do it. You can ban all the parts, all the springs. You can ban all of that stuff, but as long as there's raw material out there, people will make guns. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
So, why are you making it hard on law-abiding citizens?
Yeah.
You should see the rifling machine that the Finns were using to make Sting guns during World War II. It was made of wood. Had one little piece of high-speed steel stuck in the end of the rod, and the rest of the machine was made of wood.
Really?
And they were rifling 9mm subgun barrels with it in a basement in Finland.
Wow.
I mean, where there's a will, you can't stop it.
No.
Yeah.
Machinists are smart people.
Yeah.
How old is this technology? Let's think about how old is this technology, right? First of all, you go all the way back to when a dude picked up a rock and threw that rock at another dude.
Yeah.
How far back is that?
Yeah.
Then we're talking
as far back as you can go.
Pre-kill person number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you had the first wife, that was probably the first person that threw a projectile. So, I mean, and then after that, right? I mean, what is it? I think I was looking this up the other day, and it goes back to like 1000 AD or something, that the Chinese had tubes, and they had a way of pushing spears through the tubes using gunpowder and stuff like that. That's, 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, like premise of the first firearms, basically.
Yeah. When was the first rifling? Who knows when was the first? Because I don't really know.
First 1700s? Maybe late 1600s, early 1700s?
Yeah. Was that America or Europe?
Europe.
Europe? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, you got all them weird types of boards like the Medfords and all that garbage. I think we kind of pioneered rifles, didn't we? Us and the Germans.
The Germans, actually. It says barrel rifling was invented in Augsburg, Germany in 1498.
Whoa.
Wow.
So it's older than I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, that's slightly
predates to the Germans.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, the Germans. Yeah, okay. And so when did the Americans pick this up, man? Because, we've got some things. We did some things here.
I think that when they became cheap enough, because rifles were expensive at the beginning because you had to do the process, so smoothbores were cheap. So it probably got picked up in the early 1800s.
Didn't we have a rifle corps in the American Revolution, though?
Yes, we did. Yes,
we
did. And as Babyface points out, that the smoothbores, the muskets, were easier to manufacture, but as our American craftsmen, who were building these long rifles and Kentucky-type rifles and learning how to Damascus barrels around mandrels, and they were able to develop and impart rifling into the bores. And yes, rifling has been around for a long time, but I would say that we did more to perfect it than anyone else in the world, at least our
yes. You're welcome, world.
And now I just read a story where somebody was EDM rifling a barrel in their bathroom with
EDM. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Wow.
Look it up on YouTube. Somebody figured out a way of putting a wire along a rod and then they had the saline solution in a bucket.
Was this person
and
an alien?
The electrical contacts on there, and they were EDM rifling.
Okay.
Home.
That's interesting.
I'm gonna have to look this up.
Yeah.
Definitely not try this in my bath.
Yeah, don't tell Babyface stuff.
Machine.
Yeah. Why in the bathroom? Was the moisture making it easy?
Well, you have access to water. You have to have water.
Has underwater.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. You can't stop any of this. It's all the genie's all out of the bottle. First suppressors. When did the first suppressors? I know it had something to do with muzzle devices and.
1909, I think. Hiram Maxim.
Yeah, Maxim. Yeah.
I would love to own a Maxim suppressor, and with one of the Winchesters. I think he put it on a Winchester repeater. Oh man, I'd love to have one of those combos.
So did they make a lot? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Teddy Roosevelt had a lever action Winchester with a Maxim silencer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's an NRA museum, I believe.
Back, that's back when you could just call them up and call them up. What am I saying? Send a letter, postmark it.
Mail order one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get sent right to your house.
Yeah.
Get your Sears catalog out and order one.
The things.
Instead of the page of the 1919 or the Colt potato digger belt feds, they're on the other page.
If you could go back in a time machine and just get a Sears catalog and start ordering stuff, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. You know what you just made me think about, Dave? The NRA museum. We can't actually. What happens if something goes badly wrong at the NRA? Man, they go out of business. Who gets the museum?
Me.
They'll probably donate it to the Smithsonian or something like that. They'll donate that collection.
Okay, we got to be careful with that, man.
The NRA museum. I think the NRA museum is actually a separate foundation, sort of an organization.
Yeah.
And
it has no money.
I think they will survive any scrutiny.
Okay, I hate to see Bloomberg get his hands on that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be fighting words right there. To see that. Okay, so they made a lot of suppressors back then, the Maxims?
I wouldn't say a lot.
No? Okay. Okay.
No,
So
not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so who?
And it's the Maxim silencer. Thank you very much.
Maxim silencer.
He actually patented. I think he trademarked or patented the word silencer.
Okay.
To make it sound cool.
So here's the thing. Since we've got Dave from Liberty Suppressors here, what is it, Dave? Which one is it? Is it silencers? Is it suppressors? Is it cans? People always get mad at me when I make videos. They're like, "Oh, how come you don't say silencer? How come you don't say suppressor?"
We use all three words interchangeably. They all have the same weight around here. That Mystic he's holding, it started out as a suppressor.
There it is.
Okay.
We refer to them as silencers. We refer, of course, we nickname them. We call them by the slang term cans.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so
we use all three languages.
Okay.
Interchangeably.
Okay, right. So cans is kind of like a slang.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, is there a technical difference between suppressor and silencer?
None whatsoever. They're exactly the same item.
Okay. So what are you supposed to say to those internet Nazis that are always fighting from one side or the other? What are we supposed to say to those guys?
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
This fits your tube, by the way.
Don't tell
really?
me that. I'm going to need one now.
Does it sound better that it says Liberty? Here, show us that one more time.
Listen, I'll trade this one. Look, it's got a baffle strike.
Yeah, get the white background. Get the white background. There you go. Awesome.
Let me fold it up here so it shows. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool.
Yeah, Liberty.
Man.
Yeah.
Look, I got a little baffle strike. I'll just send it in, and if it comes back with the Liberty marked one, I won't say anything. I'll just
see if you can see what's going on right through here. Can you see it?
Is it
Liberty?
Did you mark it? I can't quite see.
Oh yeah, it looks like it's etched all the way through.
Engraved. This is registered on the NFA registry as a silencer on its own, so we can keep just the core.
Wow.
It has all the data that makes it a legitimate silencer on its own. That way we don't have to tube it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
For video, so you can get fire coming out of there.
Yeah. Oh, we ain't gonna shoot it. I done metered it. It's terribly loud.
I want to see fly. I want to, huh?
If it's not serialized, then it's a silencer part, and it would have to go along with the tube. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So they serialized it for shits and giggles to keep it outside of a tube.
Yeah.
Right. That's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a vintage torch core that we shot 20,000 rounds through, and then I sectioned the blast chamber so we could see what the baffle erosion would be like. I can't show you on here because the camera's not good enough, but it burned a beveled cone of wire almost 1/8 of an inch deep in 20,000 rounds into just stainless steel, because we wanted to see how necessary Inconel was.
Wow.
And that gave us that data. So this one here is actually, it has its all data tag and all, but but yeah, that one there is registered so we can take it to SHOT Show and all that. It I have to have a tube.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. I would still like to see it like super slow-mo.
Of a bullet going through.
Yeah, and then it lights up with the fire, with the flames.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
I'm just saying, Dave. Come on now.
Some high-speed footage of just the tube,
Yeah.
just the can with the bullet going right through the living
That
room.
would be cool. It would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to find somebody who's got a 20,000 frame per second camera.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nice.
We're gonna have to look around here.
Every day. He's down in your part of the country.
Who has it?
But the guy that every day, he's down in Georgia somewhere.
Oh, Dirt Every Day, you said? What did you say?
Martyr Every Day. Am I thing
Oh,
breaking
no, he's
up?
over in Huntsville, Alabama.
Oh, he's in Huntsville. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got some nice cameras.
Yeah, very cool. So wait, suppressors allowed in California?
Sorta. They're allowed to be possessed by military, law enforcement, or dealers with special permission.
Wow.
Correct.
Yeah. What do you think about that, Sam?
Well, it stinks to high heaven. We actually had a demonstration where the National Suppressor Association, I don't recall the name right off the bat, brought a bunch of samples to arrange, and it was sponsored by my sheriff in El Dorado County, Sheriff John DiAgostini, and he showed what a rimfire suppressor was like, what a 9mm suppressor was like, and then what a centerfire rifle suppressor, both a 223 and then I think it was a 270 or 30-06, just so that people will understand that, at least politically speaking, technically speaking, the only thing that could be even close to a silencer would be the 22 rimfire. The others suppress the sound sufficiently so that the dBs, the decibels, would not hurt the hearing. And it was interesting. We had some fish and game wardens there who said, "No, if we can't tell where the shot's being fired, we don't know where the poachers are." Well, after they heard the report from that, they realized, it's still a gunshot, and we can still.
Too many movies. They're looking at they're looking at too many movies.
But they are not that quiet. Yeah. Especially when you get into rifle. 308 and 5.56, that crack is loud.
Yeah. That's why the 22s are the best. Yeah. Like I always tell people, that's what I'm by the way, that's what I'm showing off here. Yeah, this is the Walther PPQ 22 Tactical with a vector on it, of course, from Liberty.
Hey, look, mine's made in Germany too.
Yeah.
You guys show off.
This is the Centurion pistol suppressor.
Oh,
this baby, it's the little brother to the one Babyface is messing with.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
Yeah, we're gonna throw.
Mine is old enough where I still have the O-rings on the end.
Yeah,
the O-ring sitting down in the garage.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna show off some suppressors. Yeah, I'm just saying. Unfortunately, Sam.
Closest thing to suppressor I can come up with.
Wait, hold on. That might be. Don't thread it on anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on, Sam. You're gonna get yourself in trouble. That is a Paredes special right there.
Carry gun in Georgia should have on it.
The Archangel's asking, Dave, do you have any plans on doing "quote unquote" 80% Form 1 suppressor kits?
Me? No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, he was curious.
No, we've talked about it, and the ATF is so what's the word? pliable on their idea of what 80% is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all real subjective conjecture. There's no finite rule. And since it's all left to tech branch, they can change their mind on a whim.
Yep.
And suddenly everybody's holding felonies, and we produced them. So
they went after solvent traps not that long ago, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
There was one guy that was selling solvent traps, which it's a trap that sits on the end of your gun that looks like a can, but it just catches the lube, quote unquote. But the one.
You know, from the original days, there was actually, a little device that had like 2 or 3 O-rings that would fit over the muzzle of your target rifle, and you could screw a 2-liter Coke bottle to it, so as you pushed your patches through, it'd catch them. Then someone wised up and said, hey, if you just put set screws in that instead of O-rings, it wouldn't blow off when you shot it.
Yeah.
And then, and it kind of evolved from that. And they made the solvent traps more and more durable over time.
They went from Maglite solvent traps to now fully made titaniums or aluminum solvent traps.
That's in the news a lot, right? There's people doing all kinds of different variations in the media. I've been seeing articles about like illegal suppressors or unregistered suppressors and things like that.
How
often is that? It can't be that often.
How come we have yet to see a CNN expose or a CNN news flash about an illegal suppressor used in crime?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
there's not any. That's why.
It wouldn't be that difficult.
That are quietly building these Form 1 cans or building them by the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think it's movies, right? Movies, like Sam's talking about these guys who are like, oh, you can't have these things. The movies fool people into thinking that. I would agree that, yes, if you've got your subsonic 22 out of a 22 with a suppressor, okay, that's relatively quiet, but that's really about as close as you're going to get.
A 22, whenever I take people out that aren't around suppressors a lot, you give them a 22 and they giggle a little bit because 22s are giggle worthy. Mm-hmm. But you put a 5.56 in their hand with a can, especially like I have an SBR, 11.5 inch with a can on the front. I am not shooting that thing without ear pro. It's gonna, oh man, I just don't want that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And at that, Marley just got home and I'm gonna go to dinner.
All right.
So it was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Taco Tuesday, apparently.
It's Taco Tuesday.
All right, baby.
So Marley's making me go.
Yeah. He's making him go. Yeah, we know.
She's giving me the hand right now.
We know who your mouth belongs to. Also, go ahead. Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah. Where were we? Yeah. The 22s. I think that is a lot of fun. I think that's what he was saying. Did Sam freeze up? Are you there, Sam?
Hang on a second. Oh. I'm here.
We got audio.
Yeah, I think he froze up.
I'm here. There we go.
Okay,
boom. There we go. We got him in. All right. So, yeah, I'm going to, let's see. I'll do it like this. Yeah. So, actually, Simpson Road Larry has a question for you, Dave. He says, has Dave been hearing any news about silencers that have him a little worried?
No. It's ever since Trump made his statement, the politicians at large have basically went dark about silencers.
Okay.
There was a little bit of scare tactics thrown around when the Ohio shooter had that, he had that AR pistol, and they were talking about the loophole in the law. It's not a loophole. He legally built a pistol. But
okay.
But we haven't seen or heard anything from NFA branch or anybody on the inside up here. Nothing.
Okay. It's
business as usual. Actually, it's been business as usual all year long. We haven't seen any issues. There's not been really panic buying or a drop in sales either. They've been really consistent.
Okay. So suppressor sales are steady. Are they growing?
Yeah. No, it's not like 2016. That was a runaway year because of the rule change on trusts, and with the election cycle coming up, and then the there was a third event. Oh, the whole Hearing Protection Act was heading through
possibly.
Congress.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that whole trust change generated a bunch of panic buying in that year. But this year, we haven't really seen that. It's just been pretty smooth and consistent sales all year long. And the sales cycle looks normal. Everything just looks normal. It's business as usual.
Okay. And what about you, Sam? Anything going on in California or around the country that you guys are hearing about that you think we need to be thinking or worrying about right now?
Well, right here in California, the legislature has got just a few more weeks. They're going to pass a bill that's going to ration the number of guns we can buy per month to one gun of any kind per month.
What?
They're trying to pass a bill that will impose a tax on the sale of guns and ammunition so that they can fund their violence prevention programs, as if law-abiding citizens are to blame for gun violence. We've got multiple red flag law enhancements that they're pushing through the legislative process here in California, expanding the number of people who can request a red flag, gun violence restraining order.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just here we can't wait for action from the court. We're looking forward to this fall or the beginning of the new session when Supreme Court deals with New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus the City of New York. Depending on how that ruling goes, it can change the landscape here in California as well as throughout the country in a very positive way. And that's what we're hoping for. So here we're kind of fighting a holding battle, holding pattern of keeping them at bay, knowing full well that they think they can pass anything they want. And they have super majorities in both houses, and they have the single most rabid anti-gun governor that maybe any state has ever had in Gavin Newsom. So, for you folks out in the rest of the country and what I call free America, pray for us here in California, because it is truly we are under strong oppression, and we're going to keep fighting.
Okay, absolutely. So while the rest of us, it looks like there's a little bit of quietness going on right now, right? For the rest of us, because, Trump's made that, I guess he made the statement to the NRA, we're going to back off the background check thing right now. Maybe the red flag things, they're gonna back off that, I think. But in California, they're full steam ahead with everything, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're definitely full steam ahead, and they are whining like stuck pigs, trying to get the federal government to follow the lead of California. And what's happening in Congress and with the president is not by accident. Our organization, Gun Owners of America, we've been pushing it hard, and we know that millions of people have been communicating with members of Congress and the Senate and the White House with their opposition to the universal background checks and the red flag laws, and how truly ineffective they are to stopping or solving crime. So it's been, I think that the president is listening to a whole big, massive flock of birds that have been whispering in his ear, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any let up on that either, by the way. Not even in Congress. There's lots of people. I think I saw there was a GOA statement that went out that they're sending them tons of info, or they're getting lots of calls and things like that from people saying, we want gun control, we want gun control, we want gun control. So we have to try to make sure that we counter that before they start believing it. John Crump from GOA Virginia says, Sam, we support you. So... I'm sure you know John.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So let's go back to the thing that you just said about you can only buy a gun once a month. That's what California's trying to do?
Yes. Yeah. Right now, in California, you can only buy one handgun per 30-day period. You buy a handgun, you cannot buy another one for 30 days.
That's right now in effect.
Right, in effect. But you can buy as many shotguns and rifles as you want, or you can buy one handgun, 10 rifles, and 10 shotguns. Well, now they're trying to say that they will not allow Californians to buy any more than one gun of any type, because they found some people in the public that had over 100 guns in their gun cache, in their arsenal.
What's wrong with those guys? They need more guns.
Yeah, that's rookie numbers.
Yeah, come on, guys.
A simple collector of Winchester Pre-64 Model 70 bolt action rifles could have way more than 100 guns. But
Wow.
aside being totally, ignorant about guns, and I think they're sending a bug through my air conditioning here.
I'm telling you.
They're poisoning you.
You might need a pickle.
They
You
know
might need a
nothing
pickle.
about guns and collecting. Yeah. So, yeah, it's gun rationing. They're rationing our constitutional right, and as you well know, that's wholly unconstitutional.
Yeah.
So,
Where else do we have something like that in the rest of the country? Is there some other state where you can only buy one handgun a month?
I'm unaware of any other state
Okay.
that has one gun a month. Let me see real quickly.
And where else has a law like that saying, oh, you know what? You can only buy one car, one shoe. You can only buy one McDonald's hamburger. One knife a month. What the hell is that?
Yeah, one bottle of whiskey.
Well,
Yeah.
It's first of all, they would never say that, pass a law that said you can't buy more than one car, even though more people die on our highways than they do from gun violence every year. Even if the tragedies and the death and mayhem that happens from that is bigger, but they never do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? Driving a car or owning knives or anything, none of those are constitutional rights. You have the right to travel, but the Constitution doesn't say by which mode. If they say you can't have horses, that's not unconstitutional. If they say you can't have cars, that's not unconstitutional. If they said you cannot travel from state to state, then that would be unconstitutional. As long as you can walk, you have that right. On guns, it is far clearer. It says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and that's what we are hoping will be the message that comes down from the Supreme Court later this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Big Dick Willie says New Jersey has it for handguns.
Okay.
And John Crump says Virginia used to have it. So that's interesting. Right now, I guess California is one of the few places out there that's doing that.
Here it says California, Maryland, New Jersey, New York City. And the one in the District of Columbia was struck down.
Okay.
So
yeah, I think New York gives you you have to get a license to buy a handgun, and then it probably only lasts 30 days or something. Then if you don't buy the gun, you got to apply for that again. Go ahead.
Think
Dave.
about what he just said. The District of Columbia is freer than California.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, they're not even all the way baked in yet. Yeah.
They're a federal enclave. Is what the DC
it
is.
don't even have its own statehood or states' rights, and it's freer.
Yeah. So what do you? So is the Supreme Court taking this up? Do you know?
Yeah, they've already granted certiorari on to this case, New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus the City of New York. They've accepted the case. The City of New York has gone back now twice and asked the Supreme Court to reject the case, even though they've already accepted it, because it's now moot. The City of New York changed its laws regarding transporting firearms within the city limits, and then they went to the Supreme Court and said, "Oh, we changed the law, so the issue is no longer valid. The case is moot." And the Supreme Court said, "Yeah, but you know what? If we make it moot, that nothing prevents you guys from passing the law again in the future." So that scared the out of the other side. So they went to the state, and the state passed the law that makes it illegal for the city to pass that law. And now the city came back to the Supreme Court and said, "Hey, listen, now we can't reinstitute our horrible gun control laws." And get this, in their commentary to the Supreme Court, they said, even though the regime that we had was wholly constitutional, so they are not admitting that the restrictions that they had were unconstitutional. They're telling the court that it was constitutional, but now that they don't have that, the Supreme Court should not hear this case. And the reason they are afraid is because they believe that the Supreme Court is going to come down with a ruling that is going to affect more than just the transportation of firearms, and that's the level of scrutiny that all courts can use with regards to Second Amendment cases. And if they do that, I'm looking forward to buying the first free suppressor in the state of California for my hunting guns, for my handguns, for fun, for so that I don't rattle my neighbors. To increase the accuracy on some guns, and we will change California from a may issue concealed carry permit state to a shall issue concealed carry permit state.
Someone said D.C. is shall issue, which I think was because of the Heller case, right?
Heller 3, I think. There were 3. It took 3 lawsuits to make D.C. become shall issue. 3 Heller versus Washington D.C. And finally the third one. Now Dick Heller is a consultant to Gun Owners of America, and we are happy to have him on board. What a wise person he is, and
nice guy. I've met him several times.
Gun owner with guts.
Yeah.
Lots of guts in that guy, I tell you.
Yeah.
He's got cajones, as they say out here.
Yeah. I'd like to get him to come on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great interview.
Let me see if I can help.
Yes, absolutely.
Let me see if I can help.
Yeah. If you can, speak to him. When I saw him, I think the last time I saw him was at NRA this year, and I was talking to him about it would be great if we can get someone to convince him that it's going to be, he'll have a fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will ask the powers that be in Virginia and
okay. Yeah, I missed what you said there at the end. I think you went out for a sec.
I'm going to try to make it happen.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Got it. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So let me see. I'm trying to look and see. So were there any other things that maybe that you think we should be aware of going on in California for all the Californians out there and everyone who's concerned about California and bringing it back into the fold?
Well, I think that everybody that's concerned about California, it isn't so much what we're doing here in California, but what now California is trying to do for the rest of the country. It's trying to export gun control nationwide. They're passing resolutions asking Congress to strengthen laws, gun control laws nationwide. They have even sent a letter to the leadership in Nevada, telling them that California legislators would love to help them pass gun control laws in the state of Nevada so that they will become like California.
Yeah.
So they're very public about that stuff.
Yeah.
I can imagine how well Las Vegas would accept, restrictions on sins and vices.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
that would
go ahead.
That's I was just going to make a just comment that would be ironic.
Yeah, it would be. It would be ironic. I mean, I'm sure that Las Vegas itself would love to see some of these kind of things, just based on the makeup of what's going on in Las Vegas. The rest of Nevada, probably not so much,
Yeah.
And there's definitely some industry out there. I know we were talking about the industry, the firearms industry, and what I was surprised to find is that there is a big firearms industry in California, but California is doing its level best to destroy that industry.
Absolutely. I mean, this year, Weatherby, one of the major significant firearms manufacturers in America, Roy Weatherby started them back in the 40s and 50s after World War II. They finally left California. They had operations in Southgate and in Paso Robles, and they finally moved to Wyoming. And they are so happy there that their employees can actually enjoy the great outdoors, and they can enjoy a greater amount of freedom and liberty living and working in Wyoming. But that's true. We've got tons of small manufacturers that manufacture parts for modern sporting rifles, and we've got modern sporting rifle manufacturers and tons of gunsmiths that are actually manufacturers, and that they build guns from scratch for custom guns for sale, and the legislature would love nothing more than to wipe out the gun business from the state of California.
Yeah, it's so crazy. Either one of you guys can jump in on this, but I actually went to Connecticut and I spoke to some manufacturers in Connecticut, and it's so crazy and weird to be in a factory where the people are making AR-15s, but the people who make these guns cannot legally buy the guns that they're making in the state that they're in.
That's messed up.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's probably happening in California. I know that's happening in Connecticut.
Where does Surefire silencers make their silencers? They're California-based.
Yeah. Are they California? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they moved out to... I know a lot of guys moved to Utah, right?
I don't think Surefire did.
No, okay. All
right.
No,
Surefire is still Southern California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Surefire is Southern California.
Yeah, so they're making something they can't have. Wow.
Yeah.
The only other place like that in the world, really, I think, is Japan, where they manufacture tons of firearms that their residents cannot own. And Connecticut is like that, and Gun Valley is like that. It's really unfortunate, and that's why a lot of people are going. Manufacturers are moving to Pennsylvania and other states that are more Second Amendment friendly.
Like Beretta moved to Tennessee. Yeah.
Yeah. You said Beretta moved to Tennessee, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're up just east of Nashville in a little town. I think it's called Lebanon, Tennessee, I believe is where they're at.
I think so.
Just east of Nashville. They built a huge facility there.
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson, what was it? Smith & Wesson? No, Remington. Remington moved their operation to their campus in Huntsville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they're consolidating all of their firearm manufacturing there. I think they've moved their Marlin division there and all of that.
Yeah.
I don't think Smith & Wesson's went anywhere yet. They're still in Massachusetts or somewhere?
I think so. Yeah.
Springfield, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have a big foundry or something like that, or forge or something like that up there that's not easy to put anywhere else or get the environmental clearance, I guess, to do that, right?
Right.
That's
if they're forging their own steel from ore, that's a pretty special operation. It's probably a legacy.
Yeah. So they probably, I don't know if any of that went on in Connecticut. I mean, with Connecticut, you're talking about, look at all the different manufacturers that are there. I think Colt is still there.
Sig. No, they're in New Hampshire.
Yeah. I went to like Connecticut, Connecticut Shotgun or Standard Manufacturing, but I know there's several other people around there. Stag Arms was in Connecticut, but are they moving? I think they're planning on moving, or they moved or something like that. Stag Arms. I think I heard something to that effect.
Yeah, they had some kind of issue they were trying to solve. Didn't they have some kind of legal problems with the management?
Yeah. Well, that was several years ago, yeah, and they wound up selling they sold the company, and I think it went under the umbrella. What's the name of those guys that they make a lot of lowers? I'm trying to remember the name. Aero Precision. I think maybe the same company that has Aero Precision, etc. Now they're with that company because the owner they had some problems with the ATF. They lost track of some stuff.
Yeah.
The owner had to give up. That was several years ago, but they were still out there, and to my knowledge, still in Connecticut. But I think they're planning on leaving if they haven't left already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to see what's happening, and then you have to think, not all of these states that we thought like were solid pro 2A states are actually staying that way, right? Some of them are being converted a little bit.
Yep, that's very much, very, very true. I mean, you look at Colorado that's going the wrong way. You look at Nevada that's going the wrong way. This year they passed several wholly anti-gun laws for the first time in forever. Oregon's gone. Washington's gone. They're trying to pressure Utah. Utah's going to be pretty good. Idaho's going to be pretty good. But the problem is that as California becomes more expensive to live in, a lot of Californians are leaving and going to neighboring states. And when they go to these neighboring states, they take along their political ideology and they try to make Nevada into California or Oregon into California because they're moving to the big cities and and that's how we're infecting the rest of the country.
Yeah, but
Arizona's being pressured,
mm-hmm.
Texas is being pressured. It's pretty much across the board.
Yeah, help me out here. Why would California be getting more expensive? I'm kind of confused on
Lord.
that one.
Oh, really? Dude, that's a loaded question. I'm from Georgia.
Well, number one, the easy number is that the taxes are so high. We have the highest taxes of anywhere in the country, pretty much. And number two, in the major areas like Los Angeles and especially the Bay Area,
mm-hmm.
where the high-tech industry seems to be growing, buying a house, a regular small little 800 square foot house, you're looking at $1 million plus.
Mm-hmm.
Renting there is $4,000 and $5,000 and $6,000 a month to rent a small apartment there.
Mm-hmm.
They're making a lot of money for sure working in the tech industry, but it is very expensive. And those people that are not a part of that industry, those people that provide subsidiary services to that industry, they don't get paid the same as the engineers do, the software engineers and stuff. So they say we can't live here. We gotta. And when they can sell their house, their little dinky house for $1 million, and then move to Nevada and buy a house that would cost $3 or $4 million if they bought it in California, they're taking that option. But unfortunately, they take their philosophy with them, and they vote that way when they move to these other neighboring states.
Yeah, I saw that like in the Silicon Valley area, a 2-bedroom apartment is like $4,000 a month or something like that.
Yeah, and that would be on the low end.
Yeah, wow.
That would be on the low end.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's totally insane. SoCal Gunner gave us some money here, gave us $10. He says, "What's up, my strange familia? GOC in the house." Gun Owners California, better late than never. He's came to join and shout out. I don't know if you're aware of SoCal Gunner, but he's, funny enough, he's from California. I guess that's what the SoCal. That's what the SoCal.
Want to get to know him?
Yeah, he's got to be a millionaire if he's still in California. Is everyone left in California a millionaire, or there's
no?
Obviously,
no.
there's people
Here
that are
in
suffering.
California,
far from it.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
The middle class is what's vaporizing.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones that are moving out because they have the ability to move out.
Mm-hmm.
So our homeless problem here in California is growing exponentially. The lowest of the low end
mm-hmm.
is growing exponentially, and then the high end, very wealthy, is also growing. And it's the people in the middle that are leaving California and feel the most stress and strain.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Are there still what?
All your skilled tradesmen, everybody that knows how to do anything, they're going somewhere else.
Yep. Your welders and plumbers and electricians and stuff, as long as there are still wealthy people, there's work for them because they're building. They're in construction and all of that stuff. But, your typical mechanic, unless you're a mechanic on electric vehicles or really high-end European cars, it's hard to find work sometimes.
Yeah, it's getting tough for everyone to live there. I mean, I'm seeing even with like college students, I saw stuff that there's kids getting into college there, but then they can't afford to get an apartment or stay anywhere or get food even.
Yeah,
they get into school, they can't do anything.
Yeah, and the education costs are going through the roof, which is happening all over the country, but in California it's amplified. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And then what are they studying? What subjects are they studying when they could?
Yeah.
Ethnic studies, things that they can graduate and get a real good job with, But
social justice warriory or something like that. Yeah. Some kind of crazy nonsense like that. Yeah.
With a minor in Tai Chi.
How do you know so much about this, Dave?
I have a daughter in college.
Oh, okay. Hopefully she's not going to California.
No, she's going to Tennessee. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
good.
She's going to a school in Tennessee. She's not going to UTK.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's a little crazy of what's actually happening to California. Do either one of you guys think there's ever going to be a revolution in California? That there'll ever be anyone left there to fight or bring it back?
I don't know. This has to finish running its course. You know, like he said, it's on a path, and you have an exodus of the middle class working people. All the skilled tradesmen and all of them, they're leaving because they can find work anywhere they go. You know, a machinist will never go hungry if he's a decent machinist. Doesn't matter where he's at, he can run an engine lathe. But yeah, like you said, the homeless, they don't contribute anything to society. Some of them don't want to, some of them can't. It's, you know, there's two camps of homeless people. Some of them are physically not able to, and some of them are just lazy. I've seen both groups. And they're here in Chattanooga too. So you know, that's a reality. But the ones that won't contribute are leeches. Then you have these political elites that are wealthy or movie stars or whatever they are, who want to tell everybody how they're doing something wrong, and then they want to pass all these ridiculous laws to keep those homeless people out of their communities. So you're going to divide this state in half, and it's going to be a heavy disparity between the two. And I don't know where they're going to get their money at some point.
Yeah, and you know the reality, Hank, the homeless, they don't have the ability to acquire buy the guns that they might need if they were to rebel. And the rich, so many of them are so afraid of guns that they would never consider buying them to protect themselves. They'll try to hire people to protect them, security guards, and build walls around their facilities and you know, security systems and stuff like that. So if there really was a revolution further down the line, it might be one a non-shooting one, because nobody has guns. They just go and yell at each other in the street. You know, and at some point in time, the system is going to collapse on itself when the ultra wealthy have so many things, but there's nobody there to provide them the things anymore on a local basis because they can't afford to live there. Yeah, that they will collapse, and you know, what's happening with the homeless and the diseases that are now starting to reappear in Southern California, that haven't been here since the Middle Ages, is really a sad situation, man. I mean, it's, and you know what? The left-wing activists are the ones that are in charge. They're the ones that have overseen the collapse of society as we see it, and it's their fault. It's their fault. It's their ideology that has taken us to this position.
Yeah, it's really crazy when I look at some of these things. A lot of people in the service industries cannot afford to live in a house. They can't have a house. They can't have an apartment. So they're either living in RVs or living like out of their cars or on the streets or something like that. And then these are the same people that have the jobs like security and driving Uber, and you know, they work for Facebook and Google and all this kind of stuff, and they can't afford anything. And then these are the very people that are trying to push this in this direction. It's just there's no way that's sustainable.
I agree. And who knows what's going to happen. In the meantime, we're going to keep fighting for the Second Amendment for those who want to avail themselves of that right. And I think that ultimately we're going to win. But what happens after that, boy? Yeah, my crystal ball is broken.
Yeah, well, we'll find out. Yeah, I think we'll find out. So let's see. Let's switch gears here a little bit since we have Dave here. Dave, are you guys coming out with any new things? Anything that we can look forward to from Liberty Suppressors?
Thought you'd never ask.
Funny you should mention.
Yeah. So
it's a limited production run. We only do a few of them.
Oh, you're doing lowers. Okay.
Yeah, we do a limited run once every year or two, or every 3 years. I think the last ones we made was 2015 or 2016, but we done them this year. And I think there's 23 of them available.
Oh, only 23?
Manufacturer, and this is serial number 1, and there's 23 total lowers that we're going to have.
Okay. I want number 4 right now. Reserve number 4 for me. It's got Liberty Suppressor on it.
Oh yeah, it says. Yeah.
You might have to shine a light on it or something so that we could see this here.
Let's see. Or if this light's too bright.
Yeah, well, now we're blind. Thank you. Okay, yeah, not too much light. There you go. Oh, Liberty Suppressor.
Yeah.
Imperious. Is that like a Harry Potter curse? Imperiousio?
It's a Latin word
Yeah,
that has to do with defiance of authority.
Right, right. No, that's cool. So what are you guys selling these for?
They're $110 a piece.
110. Okay.
Wow.
So
they're not your $39 PSAs that you can get right now.
Right. It's obviously a limited edition. You get to have Liberty suppressors on your lower. I collect lowers, by the way.
Right, and that's the only reason we made them was because we get, we run them a few years ago. Like my rifle that's right there, that Harley. This is what the old generation looked like.
Oh, okay.
All right, Callie, don't look. You might see a 30-round magazine.
They can have them for a limited time. They were able to have them. If the cops don't take it from them.
Close enough to see it.
Uh-huh.
See, that shield was the 2015 logo.
Okay, that's the 2015 one. That has the big star on it for anyone who's listening on audio.
Ooh, boy, that's a lot of light.
Yeah, it's a lot of light. There you go. Okay, yeah, I see it. Okay,
See,
cool. So that says Leonidas on it.
Yeah. It was originally, the first ones were to build the 300 blackout rifles. We were selling the whole rifle to start with, but people had so many variations that they were building at the time that we couldn't keep up with it. So we decided to sell the lowers by themselves, and then we sold them out. We decided the market is so saturated with lowers that we couldn't compete. You know, like you can't compete with Palmetto on a $40 finished lower receivers. Impossible.
No. I mean, PSA, you can get an AR for like, what is it, $400, I think?
$250 was what you were selling 10.5-inch parts kits on Facebook today, wasn't it?
You catch that right sale on PSA. I mean, we had them on the show, actually. I don't know if anyone out there caught that. You guys can go back and take a look at it, but we actually had PSA on, and I think in maybe 2 weeks or so, Lola and I actually going out to visit PSA, and their whole mission in life is to make the a complete AR about $400 or $500 at the most.
Yeah.
Wow.
From now on, so which is pretty good. But I would like to have one of those. If you have serial number 4 left over or whatever, I will send you out some money and I will build a gun.
It literally went live earlier today.
Oh. So yeah, we don't know how many are left at this point.
Well, I don't think they've issued any serial numbers because I got the website put together right before the office staff left, so I'll make a note now.
Yeah. Serial number 4 belongs to Hank Strange. Just put it on the side. Don't mess with it. Yeah. I know there's people out there that collect. So they can go on the Liberty Suppressors website. What is it? LibertyCans.net? Okay. Yeah.
And then you go to you click on the web store button, and then second or third row down, there's a red box square around it, and you can see the lower. You just click on that picture, and then there's a note that, it's a big warning, says this is an FFL item, yada, yada, yada. Can only ship it to dealers. So put your information. There's a box to add like contact data so we can get in touch with their dealer that they want to receive it, all that sort of thing.
Okay. So let me see. I'm going to try to go through this here. I'll throw up the website. And basically what you're saying is go to the web store, click on web store, and let's see, waiting for it to open up here. And then you say go down to the red box. Oh, there it goes. I found it. Very easy to find.
It's got a red border around it. Right.
Okay. That's why I found it so easily. And there you go. So this is what it looks like for anyone who's interested, wants to see it. And then you got some other pictures, of course, to get a look at it. So $110. Throw it in the cart, and you're good to go, right?
Yep. There's a little bit of shipping stuck on there, but
yeah.
And then once they're gone, we won't make any more until at least next year. So it'll be, and then we never do more than 20 or 30 at a time.
Okay. Okay, so you always do about 20 to 30 of these every year? Okay. And then every year you change it?
I think we ordered 26 origins, but we wound up with like 24 good receivers because we damaged them. Setup stuff killed a couple, and so we lost a couple in machining. But
Okay. All right.
It happens. End mills get crazy and they want to do things you don't want them to do.
Were they completely killed or just blemishes or?
Oh no, dude!
No,
like
they were done.
where the trigger pin goes through, one wall is as thick as a sheet of paper.
Oh. No, it's not good.
Yeah, it's pretty much scrap.
That's not going to work. DCG44 says PSA full gun sold as complete upper and complete lower was under 300.
Yeah, dude. That's hard to touch. I mean,
and he says 110's not bad for if you're getting like a limited run of something like that. 110 I don't think is bad. So
yeah, it's got the integral trigger guard. I hate the GI trigger guard. It always digs in to my finger right there and rubs a raw spot on my finger if I shoot more than just a few rounds. So I always buy the mag pulls to put in the regular lowers, or I love these integrally designed ones because it's got a nice smooth transition and your finger doesn't rub a raw spot right there.
Okay.
So that's why we chose all of our lowers always have the integral trigger guard.
Okay.
And it also makes the receiver a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot less prone to break if you step on it. That's a thing. But the receiver's design is fairly fragile when you look at the way it's made. If it's made with a GI trigger guard, because there's no real support here, and all your strength is right here in this web at the bottom of the trigger housing, and you've got the cutout for the trigger to pass through, and it's just two thin web walls. So by adding the integral trigger guard, it actually strengthens the receiver dramatically, makes it a lot stiffer.
Okay.
These are, of course, hard coat anodized. They'll last forever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like to collect lowers. I don't know if anyone else does out there. Sam, what do you think? Yeah, you do it. Dave does it. What about you, Sam? Have you built any ARs?
I've got a safe with some multiple lowers ready to be put together at the appropriate time. Both,
good way to put it.
308 size and 223 size. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had, when they made it difficult here to purchase them, we went on a spending spree. And you know what? Like handguns, you can't have too many.
No.
I mean, you just can't. There's so many cool calibers that are out there and cool uppers that you can Barbie doll these things to your heart's content and do anything from competition to hunting to target to just looking at something that's beautiful on your counter. I mean, that's why I like them.
Yeah.
I like them. I think they're the best things. They're so cute. I love them.
It's like Legos for dudes. Legos for dudes, for grown men. Yeah.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Like this, I talked to Hank. He shot this rifle. This is the one I brought to Florida. This battle-worn finish is provided courtesy of Krylon.
Krylon, okay. Yeah.
Via Home Depot, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spray painted it and then I shoot my gun.
Yeah. So, that's the coating.
Awesome.
And you get this incredible battle-worn look somehow.
Yeah, coated by sweat.
Yes, but yeah, like you said, it's like I can push these pins out, and I've shot this trigger enough that it's basically polished it, so it's smooth now. It's a regular GI trigger, so it's not super light, so it's not unsafe, but it is smooth. There's no creep and drag. It moves a little bit, but it doesn't have grit.
Okay.
And I'll take this lower and I'll set a 20 inch to do target shooting with, and have a 20 power scope on it, and then when I'm done, I put my carbine upper that I keep on the farm here on it, and then that's what I carry everywhere I go. Yeah. It's, like you said, one lower does two jobs that way.
That's right.
They're easy. They're easy to swap out. And then I notice Kermit Loves Bacon says this: I can only get pre-band lowers here. Was that a thing? Are there actually pre-band lowers out there?
I have one.
Oh, well, okay. Someone's gonna have to. What's the difference between a pre-band lower and a regular lower?
History lesson.
Yeah.
Bill Clinton signed a law in 1994 called what was it called? Do you remember the Violent Crime Prevention Act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also known as the Assault Weapons Control Act.
Yeah. Okay.
It went into effect September '94, if I remember right. And from the day of the effective date of the act, before that, those guns were grandfathered. and whatever features they had, they could still have after the ban. But after the ban, they named 6 technical devices, but only 5 genuinely apply because grenade launchers weren't readily available. But an AR-15 could have no more than 2 of 5 evil features, which was a flash suppressor, a bayonet lug, a telescoping stock, a pistol grip that protrudes conspicuously beneath the action, and a detachable box magazine. If it had more than 2 of those, it was an assault weapon by definition. So they took the bayonet lug and ground it off. They took the flash hider off and machined off the threads. They fixed the stock by putting a pin in it, and that just left the mag and the pistol grip, which made it not an assault weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Colt lightweight sporter made in March or April of 1993 that was my dad's rifle, technically pre-ban. And if he lives in a banned state, he could own that rifle by law.
Okay, but how? So how does that relate? Like Vanessa Kitty says, only lower you can buy in Connecticut are pre-ban lowers. So how do they? So what was the difference with a pre-ban lower versus a regular lower? Isn't it
the date manufacturers like the NFA?
So just the date. So you would have to have proof of the day that was manufactured, then, right?
Colt kept meticulous manufacturing records.
Okay.
So they can date stamp your serial number easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They changed their serial number sequencing after the assault weapon ban went into effect, so it's real easy. They got after the ban and before the ban serial number strings, and it's not hard to find a pre-ban Colt.
Okay.
They command a premium because of that function.
So most of the pre-ban lowers for the states that you can only get the pre-ban lowers, most of those will be Colt lowers.
Colt, Bushmaster, what's the one that starts with an E?
E.
Yeah, there's like 3 letters.
Oh.
I can't remember it now.
Oh.
There's only about 3 or 4. My SBR is made by one.
Okay.
But yeah, there's only 3 or 4 brands
that people were making lowers in those times, and then there would be some kind of proof of the date of manufacture, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olympic Arms was one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kermit Loves Bacon says they cost a ton. The Pants says Olympic Arms was one. Dan Hates You says Armalite.
Yeah.
Here they are, guys. American Arms, American Spirit, Armalite, Arsenal, Beretta, Bushmaster, B West, Calico Colt, Daewoo, Dalphon, DPMS, Eagle Arms, Fabrique Nationale,
Eagle, okay.
Frankfurt Arsenal, Hesse Arms, H&K, certain H, the 91, 94, PSG1, and the 93, the EMI, Galil and Uzi, Inner Ordnance, Monroe, North Carolina, the AK-47, M97, RPK, JNR Engineering, Kalashnikov, Knights, RAS, all of them, their SR-15 and their SR-25, Les Bear, Ultimate AR, the Mahdi Company, AK, ARM, MISR, MISTR, then a bunch of Chinese AKs and the CETME, the CETME Sporter from Spain, the Moss from France, Mitchell Arms, their AKs, Norinco, all of their guns, Ohio Ordnance Works, their AKs, including the Romanian, Olympic Arms, their AR-15, their CAR 97, their PCR, Ordnance Inc., Palmetto SGA, Poly Technologies, Professional Ordnance Inc., and PWA, all models. Those were all a part of the
pre-ban.
The list.
Oh,
yeah, pre-ban.
That's cool.
I'm sorry. It goes on.
Oh,
Arms, RPB, SIG AMT. Which is a great gun. Springfield Army BM-59, SAR-48, Sterling MK6, Steyr AUG, SWD Incorporated M11, the Valmet 76, the hunting rifle, the Weaver Arms Nighthawk, Wilson Combat AR-15, and the WUM. Those were all of the guns that were banned by name instead of by features.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, those.
Okay. Oh, those are the ones who were banned. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are all the ones that were illegal.
And then they also banned high capacity magazines.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Anything over 10 round magazine.
Yeah, I remember getting pre-banned military mags, and it was a big deal. You pay $40 and $50 for a used military magazine.
Okay.
That wasn't date stamped.
So these lowers, right? These pre-ban I'm fascinated by this because I never thought about it. I never realized. I know they're pre-ban guns because people that I know that live in those states, they're always telling me, if you find a pre-ban gun, let us know because that's the only thing we could have. I didn't realize there were pre-ban lowers. What kind of price are those pre-ban lowers getting nowadays?
I honestly don't know. All right, guys. Now's your time to shine.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're seeing because mine's not for sale. It was my dad's, and he passed away in 2004, so I'm not selling. I'm gonna leave it to Sierra. So
no, totally understand. Not trying to get yours.
Mine's not for sale, but what are they bringing?
Yeah, people out there, let us know what they're going for. I don't know if Sam knows in California because California you can get ARs, right?
Yeah,
No.
You can get them if they are California compliant or if they are featureless.
Mm-hmm.
But those that I specifically named, you still can't get. You haven't been able to get those since 1989 or 91, since the first assault weapons ban that we passed here in California, that was passed by the federal government under Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
That law still applies here in old CA. So we can't buy any Colts.
Yeah, lots of states have state laws that basically mimic the federal assault weapon ban, and they enacted them during the ban because they was afraid of the sunset clause.
Yeah, that's just that's terrible.
She's saying pre-ban strip lowers for $1,200 in Connecticut.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Holy moly!
Think about a transferable M16, $25,000.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no more valuable technically than one made yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got a form that says it was made before May 19th, 1986. So because of that, individuals in the private sector can buy it without being harassed by the feds.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it brings a premium.
Yeah. By the way, SoCal Gunner gave us $5. He says, while listening to the show, I just ordered a Fight Light SCR lower for my AR. Boom. There you go.
Got the upper.
Huh?
He should have got the upper, dude. That's that belt-fed upper.
The Fight Light, yeah. That's probably next on his list. And then I did see, Vanessa Kitty says pre-ban strip lowers, $1,200. Wow. Kermit Loves Bacon says, my buddy just paid $800 just for the lower. What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's insane.
That's the pay to play.
Yeah.
You live in a pan state. You got to do what you got to do unless you're willing to move.
Yeah. Florida Gun says, I'm packing my bags to move to California right now. Okay, I hope you're joking around. He says, most of my firearms are on that list. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. He's
about to say, do you have a list of the firearms in my safe? Is that what you're reading?
Don't go.
Hey, if you really are and you're not joking, send me an email at samp@gunownersca.com, and I will send you this.
California gun laws.
California gun laws, a guide to state and federal firearms regulations. These are the laws that affect us here in the state of California.
Oh,
over 600 pages, and it's got all of the information you need to stay out of jail. It's not 600. It's a lot. 516 pages. Yeah. Of laws that affect you here in the state of California.
So you're serious about that? So if someone's moving to California.
You know what the sticky note has wrote on it?
Yeah.
It says, sell all your guns, don't bring them with you.
Don't move here. It says, if you're moving here because you got married, get divorced. Yeah, wow.
Yeah,
so
if you're wanting to come, good luck.
Yeah. What quick advice can you give to someone out there that's listening to this? Let's say that they do, unfortunately, right? Let's say for whatever reason, they have to move to California. I've seen it happen with people like moving from Florida, for example, to Hawaii. And I know that was rough because that guy had to sell like all his NFA stuff and all that to move to Hawaii. What are the basics that you can go down and tell people that they have to think about if they're moving to Cali?
If you're moving to California, you've got understand that within 60 days, I believe it is, you have to report to the California Department of Justice any and all guns that you import into the state. So if they weren't registered in your home state, they're going to be registered once you come back into California. Failure to do so, and you are causing yourself all kinds of problems. And also, you cannot import any gun that is not on the safe handgun roster or any of the banned assault weapons, according to the definition of California assault weapons. You can't bring any of those guns in. Many of your guns, handguns, that are not on the safe handgun list, you might not be able to bring them into the state of California. So the best thing that you can do is contact Gun Owners of California, Google us, Gun Owners of California, go to our website, get our email, send us an email, and we'll help you do whatever you need to do to be law-abiding. And ultimately, what that might mean is that you're going to have to decide whether you want to leave some guns with a family member or a really, really, really good friend.
Yeah, I have an FFL in Florida. You can send all your stuff to me.
Yeah.
I'll take good care of it. I'll show it on YouTube from time to time.
There you go. There you go. So that people will remember what their guns look like.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. So the best thing for them to do is get in touch with you guys, right? To like go down the list of things that will not be able to come, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. Every situation is unique. Every situation is different. Even our active military folks, give us a call. There are things that you have to do in order to stay legal and not run afoul of the law. And we want to do anything we can to help you. If you have to come to California, welcome. There is a remnant here that is fighting for freedom, and we invite you to join us in doing so if you have to come. If you don't have to come and you like guns, you might think of something else to do. But if you decide this is where you want to come, we'll help you to be able to be here legally and safely and you know, obey the law. We will work. We will always be working to change the law that we don't like, but we're not the lawbreakers. We're the law-abiding.
Yeah, it's a tough deal for anyone who has to do it. What's that book again? That
the book is called. You can go on Amazon or any of the places. It's called California Gun Laws: A Guide to State and Federal Firearms Regulations by C.D. Michel and Matt Cubero. These are two of the top pro-gun attorneys in the state of California. There are no attorneys that surpass their level of knowledge and experience on gun issues. And this book will save you a ton. And you're going to have to buy a new book every year because here in California we keep adding new laws. When we first started, the book was about that thick.
Wow.
It was just a little newspaper pamphlet that had all of the laws. And over the years, we're now up to here. So this is what you have to know to stay legal in California, stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
And it's a good resource.
That book needs to go back down to a couple of lines. Shall not be infringed, mofos.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
and the attorneys who wrote it will be the first to agree that you know, what we have to do is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me get this out here in the time. We've got some time here. I think we got like 15 minutes. I carry my revolver in single action. Has this comment. He says, go check out Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones on Netflix. It's a breath of fresh air like comedy used to be. I know that I think that came out on Netflix yesterday. Do you guys have Netflix?
We do.
Yeah.
No.
No, Dave, you don't have Netflix?
No, dude. I don't watch broadcast television. I don't have cable. I go to YouTube and watch Hank Strange and watch Who Moved My Freedom.
Oh, thank you. Bless you. God bless you. Yeah.
There's a man with a proper priority.
There you go. Exactly. He's got it all. He's got it all figured out. Well, for those who do have Netflix, I did notice that Dave Chappelle, the comedian, he had that special coming up. I haven't had a chance to see it, but I've been hearing some grumblings that he said some pro 2A stuff in there as well. I don't know if that's true or not. If anyone's seen it, you can let us know, but maybe we need to check it out. Maybe I'll try to check it out tonight, actually, and see what he had to say in there. I know I saw the trailers for it, and he said people are going to be offended. So
good.
Yeah.
You need to melt some snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see what Piers Morgan was saying about the left?
No.
Oh,
Recently?
dude, you need to get on YouTube after we get done and look up the interview with Piers Morgan. Dude, he lays into the left. He's like, I don't know what's happened. He said, I'm a liberal. He said, but he said the left it's way past that. He said,
Who was he interviewing with?
I don't know. They were interviewing him.
Oh, someone was interviewing. Okay.
Yeah, it passed by on my Facebook feed, and I watched it for a minute, dude. He's like all over them. He's like their moral compass is broken, and you just need to watch it. It's incredible to hear it from his mouth. It's like, did they pay him to say this? You know?
I think a lot of people are seeing that they've gone too far. Harry's Holster says Kevin Hart is pro-gun. I did see that special that Kevin Hart did, because I believe what happened is that someone broke into his home and tried to rob him. So actually robbed him or something. So after that, Kevin Hart went and put a whole bunch of guns all over his house and all that. Yeah, everyone, look, you don't have anything you can't defend. Pure and simple. That's what the Second Amendment's all about, people. You know, you think you're free because of a piece of paper, or because someone gave you freedom. No, you need to be able to defend that every day. That's where the freedom tools come in.
That's right. Yeah.
That's where the freedom tools come in. So, yeah. So, by the way, let me show this off here a little bit. We'll talk about some guns. Check this out. This is my Sub 2000. The other day I was showing something from Kel-Tec and kind of got people a little riled up. You know, so here's the Sub 2000 from Kel-Tec. You unfold it. That's the M Carbo mount on there. And here's the thing, why I brought this in today. You see this little nutty thing here on the end that you can screw it off there? That's interesting. Then it has these weird thready bits right there. I'm wondering if I can put something on the thready things. Maybe, I don't know.
Something like that?
Yeah, something like this. This is the, I'm trying to remember what suppressor this is. This is the 9mm.
Is it the Centurion?
Centurion, there you go. The Centurion. Yeah, you were a Roman gladiator or something like that in a past life, obviously. Boom, there it goes. I think that's the perfect accessory for your Sub 2000. Boom.
It looks like it from here.
Yeah. And then, of course, when you want to fold it and put it back in the bag, you could flip this out here. So the M Carbo, check that. Boom, it flips out. Fold it, and there you go.
Wow.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty smooth.
There you go. Yeah, and of course, you could just take that off if you want to make it smaller. Do you have a quick attach thing for this?
Yeah.
Is there an option that someone could do? Yeah.
We got a 3-lug system. It'll go right on that.
Oh, okay. So there is a 3-lug system. So that's something that someone could just go to if you go, that's on the website, right?
Yeah, the first 3 or 4 items on the web store are all the 3-lug stuff.
Oh, okay.
There's a wrench, and then there's a adapter that actually screws on the muzzle of the gun.
Okay, so that goes on there. Okay.
Yeah, then there's a 3-lug mount that goes into it replaces the booster in the end of the silencer.
Okay, so that would go there.
That booster out, screw the 3-lug mount in, and it's quick attached just like an MP5.
Okay, so I could just, because that's what I would want for something like this, right? That you could fold it and put it in your bag real quick. So that's the kind of thing. I know we're kind of teasing Sam, you know.
Yeah, you're getting me all. I'm salivating. I keep trying to look on the internet to find all of these cool toys.
Yeah.
Cool toys.
Liberty,
Tools.
yeah, libertycans.net.
See?
Yeah. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
I have a feeling that Dave is pulling something up here.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, what do you have that's integrally suppressed, Dave? Let's see some integrally suppressed
I
stuff.
was going to show. You keep these lingering around in your office so you got access to your office file.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, yes. Can someone just buy that case with all those different bits and bobs?
Yeah, we put it together. We'd even, it even comes with a Glock 19.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. What are you going to call that case?
Very quiet.
Yeah. The gladiator case.
8, 10, 12, 14. There's 15 silencers in it.
Yeah.
Today's suppressor integral is the Zulu. 5.56 integral. This is the one we've done all the work on. We actually changed the gas port size and done a bunch of work in here to mitigate back pressure so it doesn't gas you out when you shoot it.
Mm-hmm.
I've currently got it set up with an optic because my aging eyes make it to where I can't see a red dot at 100 yards good anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But this works much better, so I like magnification on the gun. But yeah, it's got all Aero Precision rifle components. There's a Bravo Company gunfighter charging handle. I like those. I really like Bravo Company's charging handle. Use those.
Yeah, and we did a video on this, right? The Zulu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one we brought down to Florida and you shot that day.
Yeah. So there you go.
The boy down in Florida, Liberty's Defense, makes our thermal heat shields.
Okay.
This thing is made with basalt. They extrude basalt into fibers like they do fiberglass, and then they use that to make the lining. The least fireproof part of this cover is the exterior shell, and it's made of Nomex.
Okay.
That's the least fireproof part. The rest of it will not burn. He's got videos of him putting acetylene torches to the lining. He takes and heats up a bar of steel till it's glowing red and wraps it in this thing and just lays it down. It never hurts it.
Wow.
These things are incredibly well made.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris down at Liberty's Defense does a great job. That's why we love these.
I need some gloves like that. So Liberty's Defense makes those wraps, right?
Yes.
Okay. And the Zulu, is the Zulu the entire gun, or can you get the upper separate on the Zulu?
It's just the upper receiver assembly. It'll be the upper receiver with a bolt carrier and a charging handle with the hand guard. It's a free floating Aero Precision hand guard. And then, of course, the silencer module. And it does come with that Liberty's Defense heat shield already on it. And I think it's $1,500. I always get asked the questions of how much it is, and I don't never know.
Yeah. Okay.
Look what I happen to have. Catalog.
Oh, yeah, that might be helpful. Right, Sam? Yeah, dig into their own catalog. He just makes the suppressors. He doesn't necessarily...
Right, yeah. My job is to design them, not to sell them. I got somebody else that does that.
Yeah, he doesn't set the prices.
$1,550 in the catalog, but I'm not sure if that's exactly right. We've done a little price adjusting on some of these.
Okay. But, do you guys have any sales going on right now for the summer?
No, it just ended. We did have one through the month of July.
Okay.
That was basically a Patriot sale, and you could apply. We had a discount code. It ran across the top of the website, so you didn't have to go on the web and search for it. You could literally enter it at checkout, and it gave you 10 or 15% off.
Okay.
But that expired. Back in August.
When's your next sales coming up for? I mean, I'm not trying to discourage people from just jumping out there and buying stuff right now, but.
We actually don't have anything planned currently. Seriously, we've been busy getting ready for new stuff for next year.
Okay.
And the promos and sales, we don't really do them until usually sometimes we'll do them in July.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times it doesn't necessitate needing to be done.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if we do them, there might be a Black Friday code. There'll be a discount code on Black Friday, probably.
Okay.
We didn't do one last year, but usually we'll do one on Black Friday. But you know, no, it was we did do one last year. Year 4 last year didn't, but yeah.
Okay.
We had one last year.
Yeah.
So if somebody's wanting to wait to get something out of the web store, there'll probably be something on Black Friday.
Yeah. So if anyone's interested, as soon as we find out, we'll let you know. Of course, you guys can't sell anything to California. I'm sure you sell something, right? You sell accessories.
Yeah. Oh, we have a bunch of stuff that's legal there that we sell. There's a lot of swag. Seriously, we can't sell. We sell a surprising amount of adapters
to California, where they can't have those. I don't know. Sam, what's up with that?
Nothing more than a piece of metal with 2 different threads.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a gun part.
Mm-hmm. No. and yeah.
I'm just smiling, guys.
Yeah, Sam's not saying anything. Opt out of gun control. Shout out to him. He says, I love the Liberty Leonidas, which I do have one. That's actually my bedroom gun. Sits right next to my bed. You know, 300 blackout, which you put together the upper for me.
It's quieter than the Zulu because of the blackout.
Yeah.
I don't even have one of those in here currently.
No, I didn't bring mine with me today. I keep that by my bed. It's got, 300 blackout up in there, It's just so I don't have to put on any air pro if anything.
Yeah.
If anything goes bang in the night, that's my response system to that. So I want to make sure I keep the hearing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Seriously, my home defense gun is that beat up looking AR-15 that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that I sleep by
Mm-hmm.
because I know it's going to go bang. It's got a primary weapon system upper. They're the long stroke gas piston design.
Oh yeah.
It's an AR-15 on the outside and it's an AK-47 on the inside.
Yeah, that'll feed anything. Yeah, it'll feed anything. All right, very cool. You know what? How do we hit 9 o'clock so fast? What the heck happened, guys? Yeah. We're at 9
We're
o'clock
having
already.
too much fun.
Yeah.
It's only 6 o'clock in his world.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure he's been up since 6.
Up my phone. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm sure he's been up since 6 o'clock. Yeah, absolutely. So let's do this. Since we're at 9, we'll start to run it down here. Sam, how can the folks out there support you? The folks in California, the people outside. How can they keep up with what's going on with Gun Owners California?
Go to our website, gunownersca.com, GUNOWNERSCA.com. It'll keep you up to date on all of the information on what's going on in the legislature, in the elections, and in the courts. And the best thing you can do to help us, if you're going to go to the range and shoot 4 or 5 boxes of ammo, maybe dedicate the cost of 1 box to supporting your rights. And what we do here to put out the brush fire here in California is going to help nationwide because there will be far less pressure to spread the plague of gun control across the nation. So we ask for your support. Support Gun Owners of America, our national organization. We're fighting hard right now. Like I said earlier, there's a reason that the president has backed off on some of the commentary that he made regarding gun control, and it's because of the pressure that he is receiving and the good information from good people that he is paying attention to. So if you want to be part of the fight, we invite you to join us. We're in the trenches every day fighting away. Hank, you don't know how much I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on the show with you. I love you, man. What you do, Babyface, he cracks me up.
Yeah.
Dave, it's a pleasure to meet you, man. I'm sitting back over here. My mouth is salivating. Look at all of the fun projects that you have.
Planes fly east and west. You want to come out and hang out for a weekend or something? We'll light some stuff up. I got.
Oh my! You don't have to say that twice.
Yeah.
Now I know. Now that I know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah.
That just might happen.
Yeah. Please invite me. I would love to hang out with you, Sam. Yeah, it's been great, and thanks for you're like one of the. I think you guys were the originators of Gun Owners of America, right? Or where it all started.
Yes, we are. And
then branched out. Yep. So we appreciate what you guys are doing out there as well. And like anytime you need to come on here, or if there's, if you can't make it on, but there's a message that you need us to get out there, please do let us know, and we'll do our best to get it out.
100%. We're a team, buddy.
Absolutely. Yep. Thank you. All right. So Dave, how can the people keep up with Liberty Suppressors? What can the folks out there do?
I happen to have an infographic here.
Oh,
okay. You can call us at 706-661-6911. You can go to our website, www.libertycast.net. You can look us up on the Facebook.
The Facebook.
You can also find us on the Gram. I post on the Gram daily.
Yes, you do.
But we have these awesome catalogs. They're free to anybody that wants one. We'll mail you one out if you shoot us an email. Until they're gone, we get several thousand of them printed every year. But yeah, quick history note. This was a catalog from like 2010.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then we done these. In 2016 we printed these.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's really cool because of the subliminal message.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the shush.
The quiet forest with the fog over the rumbling noise and the smoke and flame.
Yeah, lots of work went into that.
Yeah, I don't know who did that. I really don't remember.
Yeah. And also for the folks out there, if you want to see some videos, go to YouTube. You can also go to GunStreamer, of course, and you'll find more things for the stuff that YouTube is removing for Liberty Cans. And you guys, you said, Sam, that you're not on YouTube and all that, right?
We are not.
Okay.
But we're going to be out there. The more we can participate with people who have got great audiences, the better.
Okay.
So thank you for the opportunity to talk with you and your listeners.
Absolutely. Okay, you're welcome. All right, I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us. We'll be back tomorrow, which I guess is Wednesday. I think we're going to cut this week a little bit short. I think we're going to go Wednesday and Thursday, and then we'll take that long weekend off. I know there's like a hurricane, all kinds of stuff rolling up on Florida that people have to get ready for here. So everyone be safe out there. We will see you back here tomorrow. Thanks a lot to Liberty Suppressors, Dave Sailors, for coming through. And of course, Sam Paredes from Gun Owners California for coming through as well. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you so much. We will see you tomorrow. Any last words, guys, before we get out of here?
Keep your power.
God bless and be safe.
Okay, awesome. That's good. We're out. Peace. See ya.